Welcome to the Weekend Show with Mediumjay. I secured the bag on Ellen Page's royalties. I now earn 6 figures every month from identifying as Ellen Page. After she transitioned into Elliot Page, he gets no more money. He doesn't get what she did. I just walked into that licensing office and I told the motherfuckers the deal. I filled out a little bit of paperwork, walked out that bitch. It was so easy since Elliot Page left that part of his career. Once I secured the bag on Ellen Page's identity, man, and he ain't picked up those checks. It's fucking not, those checks were just left unclaimed, by the way. Those checks were just sitting there, collecting dust. And once I secured the bag on Ellen Page's identity, I immediately dropped a sex tape where I fucked a chick that looked like old school Ellen Page. All I did was find a girl that looked kind of like the same Ellen Page in that time frame back when she was still a girl. It's fucking genius, man. And we hit motherfuckers with a tweet that went viral, right? We got an announcement to make. Ellen Page is back. She came back. The cat came back. And with an OF link at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Link in the bio. They fucking loved this girl. She was a little Russian Ukrainian mix and couldn't speak a lick of English, but she was doing no talking, people. She would do this whirling motion with them boys, this whirling motion with them boys, you know what I'm saying? It would twerk. It was like a circle twerk right on a dick or a dildo or whatever you got. It was gyrating. It was mesmerizing and had them boys on Reddit going wild. She started learning English through the endless horny fans that would pay tens of thousands of dollars for dating her. And, at the end of the night, she would get to decide if she wanted to bring them home with her. It's fucking genius, man. The top tier level of simping, if you will. We'd get the money up front. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars. They gotta take her out. She's gotta eat. And you go and take her out on a date. She gotta eat. They're fitting the bill. Always an expensive restaurant. You take a chick like this out, take her out. You ain't taking her to Applebee's, brother. You ain't taking her out to. You ain't taking this Ellen Page lookalike out to no fucking Outback Steakhouse. Those are kind of nice. But you taking her out to like Nobu's for some sushi. Taking her out to fucking Paris, on that Eiffel Tower. You whining and dining this chick. You definitely ain't gonna get her that cheap wine either. You know what I'm saying? So she had to pay, the boys had to pay for the date, and they'd have to tip the staff, obviously. Motherfucker that everybody know, motherfucker that don't tip on the first date, don't get laid, dog. Just how it go. It's just how it go, right? But it's fucking wild because I'm straight up pimping this woman by now. I'm saying, I'm like, and she ain't even doing shit either. It's just so she has so much free time. Cut to when she starts, learning English through the endless comments and the dates that she's been on, spending time with all these horny boys. Eventually taught her English. That's one way to learn. You doing Babbel? Why not you hoes start to travel? You know what I'm saying? Hoes get out there more. There's a lot of miles driven on this dirt road, boy. You know what I'm saying? Oldest profession in the game, by the way. Oldest profession in the game. That's on gang, coulda. I said coulda. You know what I'm saying? That's fuck with a lot of C's, a few B's. Fuck with a lot of C's, a few B's. Saying shots out. Shouts out to the Bloods and the Crips, by the way. Shouts out to actually every gang organization known to mankind. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with you, bruh. I fucks with you, B. But let's and C and pretty much LGBT. So I'm pimping this bitch, right? And she started learning the labor laws in Canada. She started learning that what I was doing was a little shady. She started learning that I was moving, a little too shifty for what she was into. I was straight up paying her Russian rubles or whatever their Russian currency is. And I was taking 80% of her shit, bro. I was on top of whatever fee that I told her at the time. Told her something, but I was getting mostly all of it. And I was just paying her like 20 G's a year to live, And where she came from, especially from the refugee side of it, she was happy to get what she got. She was happy until she started learning this shit, right? She was like, fuck, I'll explain actually, because this is kind of confusing for people. So I stole Ellen Page's name through a legal loophole, bought a Russian-Ukrainian chick that looks like Ellen Page, seeking refuge from the ongoing Ukrainian-Russian war. Thoughts and prayers to both sides. Then I got her into the life of an e-girl on OnlyFans, and catfish Ellen Page was just booming. She was popular, and at one point she was the most popular girl on Pornhub. Well, a porn star is like Pornhub kind of, but it's the ghetto version of it. It's like the pornstar.com. It's like World Star and Pornhub combined. Porn star. Actually, should we get into it? We got an ad read for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. This is exclusive. I am offering the listeners of the Weekend Show with Mediumjay 30% off. Members only. VIP all exclusive access pass to ellenpage.net pornstar.com/TV. And you're gonna have to look it up, but she does this one thing with her ass where it's like it's like you throw a brick into a washing machine, man. She is throwing that thing back like she fell off a horse, dog. This is nice. Have you that ass does flips like Johnny Knoxville in Jackass when he get hit by a bull. That ass is, I don't know how an ass does circles like that. Never seen a bitch throw it in a circle and measure the radius while static. You know what I'm saying? This chick was doing tricks, right? And the problem was she got a little bit uppity when some news blogging sites started reporting that she had a net worth of $30 million. I told her those numbers were wrong. The business we operate takes most of that anyway, and she cut me off. She said, "These are the business." And she was pointing at her tits. She's like, "These are the business," while pointing at her tits, right? And the tits, while a bit larger than the real Ellen Page's, moved so elegantly, so gracefully throughout the cold summer wind. One night, you could see almost a glimpse of it, like the crescent moon hidden between the clouds. One was a tad smaller than the other, but what lacked in size made up for in character. Her right one was a sporty one, the fun one. The breast that would sneak out in the middle of the night of her mom's house after curfew to go break into the Capitol on Jan 6th, while the left one would still be following stay-at-home orders with a mask on. The right one just wanted to explore. Right Ellen would try new things, roam the open world, sightsee and meet interesting people if possible. The right boob on deep fake Ellen could not be tied down by no bra. She was going places, but she would often, at times, still get a little bit flustered when she seen a cute little boy. Or a cute man, a young teen. Keep it age appropriate. She would often imagine adventure and wonder while slipping free from the shackles of the loose-fitted tank top while doppelganger Ellen slept peacefully throughout the night. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Her nipple would poke through, eventually coming out, hard as the love she would have in her sexual-filled fantasies while dreaming. She slapped me, and I awoke from my fantasy. She said, I'm leaving with the money. You can keep the dildos. You can keep the vibrators. Automatic fuck machine 5000 and the barrel of lube in the basement. I'm done. Bye. So she left me, right? So she left me. I'm gone. She's just pieced out, right? She took all the fucking royalty checks. All the residuals from the greatest movies of all time, such as Robo-Dog, Flatliners, The Cured, My Days of Mercy, Window Horses, My Life as a Zucchini, Talula. I like that movie, Talula. Freeheld. It's another movie that she was in. She was also in X-Men: Days of Future Past, and this is actually one of the good movies she was in. I liked X-Men as a child. I remember seeing like Wolverine, and I thought he was such a badass. I remember like it was so cool seeing Beast and shit like that. It was a good movie. But when I grew older and I became a little bit more wiser, I realized that the X-Men are nothing but criminals. Like that movie Days of Future Past. I was like, at the time when I watched it, like young early teenager or whatever, whenever it came out or whatever, I remember thinking like, this is so badass and shit, fight the system, fuck those guys. But now I'm growing up, I'm like, yo, it's kind of dangerous to let one black chick control the weather. You know what I mean? We don't need Hugh Jackman running around with knives on his fists, you know? We don't want a fucking scientist at any given point he could change into a fucking werewolf. You know, like it's irresponsible. And wait, what? There's one guy that can read everybody's mind? Come on, man. Like, yo, regulate that shit. Cause like, I guaranteed with my luck, I'll probably be in the X-Men universe, being a normal nigga. Like, yo, I gotta fight a dude that can shoot laser beams out of his eyes. Man, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this shit, I'm out. You know, fuck that shit, I'm out. I can't take that, man. It's like, wait. You want to throw hands with a dude that got flaming fists? Like, these guys, it was like, no wonder why they wanted these guys not to have powers. Like, it's like, all right, here we go. You know, on the mark, get set, go. And Flash takes off, or whoever. The Quicksilver is the X-Men. It's exactly like Flash. It's just super speed. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, just give him the medal every year. What's the point in showing up to the Olympics with that boy? It's fucking stupid. But, yeah, Days of Future Past, I would say that is one of the movies that it gets you thinking. At least it was one of her good movies. Another good movie was Inception, another movie that got you thinking, and I really liked Ellen Page's movie and the performance in the movie, because she was really captivating. And the movie itself, Inception, is a movie where you get confused most of the time. It's like a confusing movie. It's like, wait a minute, are they in a dream or not? Even all the way up until the end, you're like constantly thinking like, is this really what it seems, or is it they're gonna change it up on? And I think through that movie, the real life Ellen Page is having a little bit of difficulty. showed. But it showed on screen that, it's confused as fuck. But maybe Leonardo implanted into Ellen Page's mind that she has to transition so that I can get all the royalty checks. She was also in the movie Juno. She was also in the other X-Men and much more, man. But I got to the point where I couldn't take it when it came down to it, because she just left it. Those checks came in fucking US dollars. And we living in Canada, boys. I was fucking pissed, man, because I was losing 20 to 30% more income than I would if I was in America. I couldn't let that go. I couldn't let her go. My phone rings and the next day it's the hitman I ordered, right? Tell him the details in person, and then I wait around at this coffee shop for him. And this dude, he came down with this weird John Wick vibe, He was a weird ass motherfucker. This dude was like, he had a beard, but like that beard goatee thing, but like no beard, but it wasn't like it was shaven, like there's patches in it. He looked like he wasn't well kept, I'll just say. Had like a distinct mole on his nose, and he had the Keanu Reeves hair, but it was balding in the midsection, so he looked like fucking kind of like Trevor from GTA, and kind of crazy. But he came in a suit and he was really professional, and he sat down and I told him the business, and he said that's no problem, right? Now, I'm still at the coffee shop while he left, right? And I'm like thinking like, okay, so he's going to get this job done today. I need an alibi. So I was tripping out, right? I sat around at that coffee shop the whole fucking day, dude. Sometime around like 8:20 p.m., I got into an argument with the fucking barista down at Starbucks. And we got into an altercation. They said I had to leave or else they'll call the police. And I said, really clear and distinct, I said, oh, great. I'm getting kicked out of Starbucks at 8:23 p.m. That was perfect alibi. You know what I'm saying? They didn't suspect this shit. So I went home that day, picked up my phone, checked the messages. The job is done. We killed doppelganger Ellen DeGeneres. Oh no, wait, Ellen Page. We killed off the lookalike because she got a little bit too powerful. That one money making scheme got out of my hands. No, but in all seriousness, I wish the best for Elliot Page. I hope he has no hard feelings about the jokes, because even before she turned into a he, she was still a monumental person. And I'm sure Elliot Page is no different. Moving on. Now, The Life and Times and the Struggles by Mediumjay. So I got into a fender bender on Monday. I'm driving the company truck. End of the day, coming back to the warehouse, there's this young Asian dude that tried switching lanes and crashed into me, and we exchanged info, and he looked me dead in the eyes and he said, yeah, I'm gonna tell him what happened. He switched lanes, it was my fault. He said, oh yeah, no worries. And a few days later, I contacted the insurance company, and they said that he's saying the story that I switched lanes and crashed into him. And now this is the second time that this happened within a year. And I'm talking about like literally an Asian guy crashed into me and it said, hey, listen, I'm real sorry. I'm going to be as honest. I'm going to file the report and tell it like it is. Yeah, no, it's my fault. I'm sorry. And I'm going to go and then, and then I'm going to go make the call. they're like, yeah, no, they said that it's your fault. And I go, fucking hell, man. So I think this year, 2022, I personally, for reasons that are very justified, am going to start Asian hate, because I'm fucking tired of fucking getting crashed into, right? The only time anyone's ever crashed into me and lied about it has been an Asian dude. It's just been an Asian dude that just crashes into me. He looks at me, and why when Asians make mistakes, they look so surprised, like shit never happened before. Like just their mouth open, like they're dumb, like they're dummies, man. And I'm just a little frustrated. Apologize to everybody that's Asian right now, but I'm just saying, like, it's fucking annoying to have you know what I mean, any type of person crash into you, any type of person lie to you. But when it happened twice in a row in the same year, you know, it's within a year, you kind of get a little bit cynical. You kind of get a little bit snarky. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it might have been within 14 months. Big deal. It might have been. But it's still the same kind of principle. It's like, even a dude that I remember a dude I was showing with Base Jesus. Shows us to that boy. Shows us to my main man, Stephen Seeley. I was driving my mom's car one time, and this completely fucked up our my mom's car, our trunk. Fucked it up. Chilling at the lights, right? I was parked at the lights, or not parked, but stopped at the lights, and all of a sudden a fucking big ass truck rams into us, and it was like wall to wall traffic kind of thing. It stopped at the lights, but then all of a sudden I get hit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And this big fat white dude got out that looked like a Hell's Angel or an Aryan Nation or a member of an wears a white robe to sleep. You know what I'm saying? He looked like one of those card carrying racists, and he was like, oh yeah, you know, he was very snarky. No, not snarky. I'd say he's very passively like nonchalant, passive aggressively, kind of like, oh yeah, okay, you can buff that out. Oh, this is all foam here. Oh, these scrapes you could easily just paint over that. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh no, it's not even that bad, man. Let's not even file an insurance claim. I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm definitely fucking filing a claim, right? And when it was all said and done, bro, straight up, and my base Jesus, my buddy, was saying like, oh, I'm a witness and shit, but you know what I mean, so you can't fuck up. But even then, he tried lying, right? I should have got a witness on Monday when I got crashed into, because I mean, at least that racist white dude, you know, that was like, because he was very condescending. He's seen that we were listening to rap, and he there's no way that he accidentally, because his excuse was that he accidentally hit his brake, or you know, he hit his gas thinking it was the brakes. I go like, dude, we were already stopped at the thing. We were listening to my mixtape at the time, and it was very loud, and it was ignorant music at the time. You know what I mean? We were young, dumb, and full of cum. We were just vibing out to some bangers by Mediumjay, right? And I'm pretty sure, I mean, me and Steven both said, yeah, that dude had to have crashed into us, like, just because he didn't really fuck with us. No way you're that dumb to just fucking, while your foot's on the brake, you accidentally hit it. Unless he was eating, fucking, he was a fat dude, looked kind of like Santa on a Harley, but he was in a truck. And he was probably eating Cheetos or something. But I'm dumbfounded that this fucking Asian dude lied to me, right? I found out on like Thursday. I'd contemplated if I should bring this up on the podcast, and I thought to myself, fuck it. I've had enough. I've had enough with how fucking every time I see another person get crashed, is an East Indian. There's, I think one time there was this old white dude crashed into a white dude that I seen. But other than that one crash, I mean, I've never seen a black guy get into a crash. I've seen black people with their tires on the side of the road, like they got a flat or something. Never seen a black guy get into a crash. Never seen a I've never seen a crash that didn't involve either an East Indian or an Asian on this. And I drive for a living. 10 hour day, 10 to 12 hour days, and then I drive around. My hobby is driving. Like when people go like, what do you do for fun? I circle the perimeter. Seeing, investigating, keeping eyes on the road and shit, watching around. I got a very, very much, a lot. I got a lot of experience, and I'm much in tune with the road, right? And this kid, right, he tried saying that I merged into his lane, but while I made it very clear that going down the road that we were going down, I won't disclose it because it's personal road. Going down the road to the shop, the Coca-Cola plant. You could probably actually Google this if boys on 4chan, if they actually want to find my location, you know what I mean, and read off my address to me in the comments. You could do it in the comment section below. But nonetheless, I was going to the plant. Did I say Coca-Cola? I should. Fuck it. We're promoting them. But anyways, I was going back to the shop, right? And that one set of lights, there's only one left lane that can turn into the street that we got to go back to the warehouse on. And he said that he's claiming that I switched lanes into him, and the only proof I really do have is that I said, well, at the end of the day, it was like 3:55, the crash, 3:50, something like that, time we crashed. But like when he pulled out, it was just stupid. Like, cause then if I pulled into his lane, for any fucking other circumstance, I would have probably in a T16 they call them, but they're semi-tractor pup trailers. They're about 28 feet sometimes. This is definitely like the half-size trailers, but I'd still but there would have been some other crash because it was fucking 3:50 p.m. on a fucking Monday. There's gonna be traffic, and it was rush hour. So he pulled in like with the blinkers, and I'm driving, and he hesitated, and I hit him, and I scraped up his back side, driver's side door, and his driver's side rear tail light. And I told him when it got out, he was like very kind of flustered, like he was a little 19, 18-year-old boy. And he was saying like, oh, this is crazy. Like, so what happens? Do you think this car's going to be written off? And I was like, dude, like, what the fuck? Probably not, dude. This is the first time this ever happened. I think he said, yeah, or something. He's like, I don't know what to do. And then he turns out he knew what to do. He lied. It's what you do after like the fourth or fifth crash you've been in. But he was very like flustered, and he's like, man, very sorry. But I told him, like, I tried to tell him, like, if you do realize, man, like, I'm a driver that drives fairly slow. So like if it was anyone else, like, I hit that brakes really quick too, because I seen you and I kind of seen what you're doing. You're trying to fucking cut me off, dude. If as pretty much any other driver, because I drive fairly slow, like 20, 30 below the speed limit most times. Like it's ridiculous. Even on highways, like I'm fairly a slow driver, but not like slow to hazardly, but like cautious mostly. I'm quick to ram the brakes if need be, because I don't want to fucking take someone's life like I could have with that guy. Because I was like, dude, you literally nosed in and then hesitated, and then last second seen me, and then tried to fucking jerk out into me. Like it was a panic kind of thing. And he even said he was panicked. I was like, just calm down, take a deep breath and just file out the motherfucker, and we'll go about it, right? And they'll figure out if they want to write your shit off or not. But you fucking lied to me, so that's just what it is. And then I think now, in all honesty, I think I can't have sex with an Asian woman anymore. East Indian exceptions, but like You know, over on the East Asian. I think I'm gonna have to refrain. I'm gonna go abstinent. That means no more happy endings, no more massage parlors, no more cute anime, no more hentai, no more Japanese girls with squids. I can't even watch the Squid Games anymore. I can't talk about it. I learned Japanese too. I'm gonna have to forget it. I think because my phone and this microphone and the chair that I'm sitting in and the apartment that I'm recording this in, they're gonna have to vanish, you know, because the apartment's owned by a Filipino. You know, my landlord's Filipino. I'm gonna have to get rid of all of this. Luckily the show's wait, was that? We're being bought out by China. The weekend here at the Weekend Show, we love and support Asian Americans. We love them. That's our boss, right? That's our boss. Yeah. But in all seriousness, right? I gotta try to get back onto what I originally was talking. I'm frustrated with, you know, multiple Asian men crashing into me. So I'd like to take the platform that I have, and I'd like to do a little bit more for the community. And you know what? This is going to be a first, but I'm going to open up my DMs to Asian men and women, and, you know, Asian men and women and transgender members of the LGBTQ, all of the Asians. I'm going to give you exclusive deal right now. I will teach you how to drive at half the price of any driving school that you can. You get the price, match it, and we'll half it. We'll match in half the prices for driving lessons, and I can teach you how to actually drive, because driving is not so much skill, it's confidence. It's like you walk around, you don't walk around like, you know, you're shuffling your feet. You don't walk around with your head slumped over or like a robot like most Asians do. You know, driving, you kind of lean back and you scroll on through. It's confidence more than anything, and that's more than anything the one thing that a lot of Asian people lack is confidence and the ability to tell the truth, because that bitch fucking lied. That son of a bitch fucking lied to me, man. I thought about fucking punching him one time real quick, but those are just thoughts and that I had to verbally get out on a platform. I keep calling this a platform, but I'm barely standing up on this. I'm barely hanging on. I'm having real trouble with this podcast right now. I took a bong rip right before. It is very difficult. I'm so relaxed, guys. But I'm at the time. I mean, when I'm sober and shit and driving, it's just mad. It's maddening, to be honest. It's not like Madden, you know, the hit TV, the TV show. No, Madden, the video game. Oh god, that reference sucked. All right. Let me try to fucking, you know, power through this shit. But we got some news for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Federal judge blocked a directive from Joe Biden's administration that allowed transgender workers and students to use school restrooms while matching their identities. You know, so I guess that's the whatever they identify as. It also allowed transgender athletes to join sports teams corresponding with their chosen gender. So yeah, whichever one they chose. The directive was blocked by Judge Charles Atchley Jr. Now this is funny. Judge Atchley. It's like, hey, I want to go into the girls' bathroom. Actually, his name's Judge Charles Ashley. Like, he can't make this up. Like, like, it's so wild, man. It's fucking Charles Ashley Jr. denied this. He blocked it. And he's from the Eastern District of Tennessee, right? Oklahoma Attorney General John O'Connor. John O'Connor. Where is John O'Connor? Who's the plaintiff called... who was on the plaintiffs, called the decision a major victory for women's sports and for privacy and safety of girls and women in their school bathrooms and locker rooms, the report said. Now, that's kind of good. Like, with this whole woke movement, it's slowly turning, right? Because, like, with the pendulum and its swings, you know, it's always got to remind yourself about the pendulum swinging. It got to a point where it was ridiculous. Like, literally, what with Lisa Thomas sitting there with her fucking gold chains looking like Conor McGregor. She was fucking dominating the women's sports teams, right? I think that was the transgender swimmer. And she was like almost like not giving a fuck. Like, it was like dick out kind of. She was ball swinging on them broads, and it was like, why are you flexing, dude? Like, why are you flexing? And it was wild. And then they had to overturn it and kick her out of the thing, because at a certain point, man, like, enough complaints get sent, it hits somebody. Enough shit gets sent, it hits somebody. And with this whole, like, you gotta, because anybody could just go, like, especially if you're a fucking little kid in school, right? You could just go, like, be a little creepy boy or some shit and go, I identify as a girl and I'm gonna go change with the girls now. And bro, that's like a fucking teenager's fantasy, like a little fucking middle school kid's fantasy. Like, I'm gonna go peep on the girls. Oh my god. You know, that's the whole fucking, I think that was a big joke in those old 80s sitcoms and shit, like guys peeping through the girls' locker room. But dude, at a certain point, in reality, it came down to it. Like, kids were probably doing that shit, and with open fucking doors as policy as far as the principals and teachers were concerned at the school. It's a very silly time. It's very silly. It's very silly. There are people like Ellen Page, right, that go through the motions and actually deservedly so. You know, she got the best surgery that money could buy, right, as far as hormone replacement therapy and transitioning. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, a kid could just go, like, especially at school, you just fuck around. Kids like to kids are perpetual shit disturbers. They like to fuck around quite a bit when it comes down to the whole authority thing. And nothing gave them the biggest loophole than just like, hey, listen, you can go into any bathroom you feel like, right? Like, and it was like one of those things where it's like, obviously that kind of thing is going to be abused, right? Obviously that kind of thing is going to affect young girls growing up, and no one thinks about the little girls growing up, like, because people go like, these are women, right? And then it's just a dude in a trench coat jerking himself in the bathroom. Like, what the fuck? This is, you know what I mean? It's just these are women, and it's just a dude that fucking is just a dude that put on makeup and it washes off in the pool while she's fucking lapping you and swimming. You know, they say these are women, and she's got the forearms like fucking Popeye, and she's bashing that tennis ball down your throat. You know what I'm saying? They say these are women, and she's fucking got you in a fucking Kimura that only Lyoto Machida would be able to execute, or Bruce Lee. She's got you in the figure four lock perfected by Ric Flair, right? Like, you go, how these are, and especially little girls growing up, they look up to, these are the women they gotta look up to. And let's keep it going with this shit, because with the whole Victoria's Secret models, or these plus size models, yeah, you think it has any negative effects on these girls growing up? Because when I was a kid, the biggest thing was like watched John Cena, and he got bought out by China too. The biggest thing with John Cena was like, he was so cool and he was buff, and I was like, I know it's impossible to get there. People go, hey, he's on steroids. I was like, no, it's natural. He's like fucking jacked. His shoulders come out to like here, like he like is wearing permanent fucking shoulder pads from a football. He's got the quarterback, fucking shoulder pads on, and his head's built like a helmet. It's like perfectly square at the top. His jaws fucking sticks out to you. I was like, that's a man. His veiny ass fucking, his arms look like legs. His legs look like fucking two barrel-sized kegs. I'm like, yeah, The Rock, I could be that. As a kid, you think about it. And with women, I'm sure, like, it's just plastic surgery, fucking, big tits, skinny chick, abs, beautiful fucking dimes in the swimsuit editions and shit. And now they're doing these plus size things. And like, if I'm a kid, man, and in all honesty, man, I'm so childish. I'm basically still a kid. I can identify as like a little boy if I seen a fucking fat dude, like being the fucking cool guy. Like, it's like a fat dude in the shirt. I go, it's funny. It's funny and good for him. He's got the, but as a kid, I go, that's not someone I want to be. And kids are brutally honest. So you're goddamn sure that no fucking little kid's gonna care if these fucking plus size girls aren't represented. Because, to be honest, it's only to service the fat people. And I think they only do this is because more and more people are getting fat nowadays. There's fat people popping up all across the fucking lands. So it's like, it's just a brand recognition thing. It's like, dude, like, fat people eat a lot, right? I think it's like, Victoria's Secret's better partner up with Popeyes, baby. You know what I'm saying? Swimsuit editions fucking taking the edge off, with a fucking, have a fucking bottle of fucking Kool-Aid. Have a big old glass of fucking pop. These deep fried donuts. Deep fried donuts got hopped on the fucking, the Dove's women commercial. It's fucking, to me, this whole woke thing is falling. Right? With Netflix, people go, with Netflix, they gotta fucking do something. They can't just keep dropping these woke pieces because nobody watches them and everybody unsubscribes. I stopped my Netflix. I still got money in Netflix. We'll put this is Mediumjay's stock picks. The show's delved into areas unknown to the host, right? I've got some money in Netflix still because I think they could come back. Ultimately, what they did to Blockbuster, I kind of want them to fail. I think a couple years ago, I was talking to myself thinking, like, I don't like Netflix. I don't like these because it gave way to, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Crave, HBO, Starz streaming app, like Apple TV, fucking, like, it's at a certain point, Google TV is gonna pop up. YouTube TV became a thing, I think, and it's just like, with that causes, like, it's just so much division, and the amount of like 10 different streaming apps at 10 to 19.99 a month, it comes down to like, yo, wait a minute, I'm paying 10 subscriptions that are $10.99 a month. It's about $120 a month. That's the same as fucking cable. Did I just do a big circle back to pay for cable again? Like, these streaming apps are supposed to save money, but with more and more shows being divided, that like, you can't just get 2 or 3 of the shows that you do like to watch on the right network. And I think it's honestly, it's god awfully honest. It's awfully honest about this. I'm awfully honest. I'm stuck on that. It's to be honest, in all fairness, I lost my point. I totally fucked it up. But to be completely honest, again, we'll go on. Who the fuck wants to watch who wants to watch several different shows scattered across different networks? It's like, all right, type in the Netflix password, type in the fucking Hulu now. Oh shit, okay, just got done watching some shit on like Rick and Morty on adultswim.com network. All right, now type in the password for Amazon Prime. You want to watch some other shit. It's you're basically paying for cable at this point. You change the channel. You're just changing the channel. And if push comes to shove, most people are getting back into the pirating. They're getting back into the society of pirates. Way back in the day when the internet first came along, we were searching through the archives of the internet, and we found a lot of things were free. A lot of things that you would have to pay for, like TV. All sports is one site. There's like one site that has everything. I'm not going to disclose them for case, it draws too much attention. I know a lot of people watch this podcast, and I don't want to let people in on I don't want to rat out our sports sites that we got, but like, dude, there's some, like, how many channels are there? ESPN, TSN, fucking, I think the NBA goes to Apple, ABC, no, not Apple, but ABC TV, and sometimes it's on the fucking news networks. It's, at a certain point, you get, like, dude, like, even when you're a paying customer, you're kind of getting fucked with these things. Shows like, you go watch Netflix, and then every time you're watching Netflix, it asks you, are you still watching? Like, dude, I would rather let all the episodes play out while I sleep, and I'll just go back to where I was. I will go, that doesn't look familiar, that doesn't look familiar, that looks familiar. That whole, I'm 2 episodes in. Yeah, of course I'm fucking watching it. Keep hitting that button. Keep hitting it. And streaming sites, to be honest, man, they're kind of annoying because they don't endlessly stream shit. They should just have some shit that's like, all right, the live network. It's like homegrown. Like, here's the yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Netflix, I got money in you, and I got beliefs in you. I think that you guys could do this. I'm going to give you a little bit of help. With Netflix, all you guys gotta do is, instead of the play something where it's completely random, you can have fucking dedicated channels that are live streaming every single move. Like, just let them play on loop. Like it's just you could probably type this in as an AI and just have like all your comedy just playing. You have the sections. Sometimes people just want to throw on something and let it go. And by the time it's playing, they forget about it. You get to run through the gauntlet of your shows. You get to list them as like potentially viewed, and you keep it going. Like, you can keep comedy, you could keep thriller, you could, so that it's like subsectioned off channels. And then it's kind of cool because it's like, oh, what are they playing on the comedy thing? Because if I just get a description, sometimes you read a picture and you're skipping past that movie that you would actually like, but you could type in, okay, I like comedy, I want to watch some comedy today, just whatever. Because the best things are that you find are like something that you kind of go past, or your first instinct is to look it over. Because most people do judge books by its cover. They say you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but with that, you'd be reading every single shitty book. You know what I mean? Because there are a lot of books with shitty covers and that are actually happen to be shitty. But yeah, that's my biggest advice for Netflix, and my biggest advice for these Joe Biden is keep. Tie it back into what I was originally talking about. Biggest advice for Joe Biden is keep these people, like, keep trying to get these fucking woke shit turned with these bills, because man, it's getting kind of confusing with all these people. It's like streaming apps. There's another, like, I'm too spirited. I'm a wolf now. I'm a cat. There's things like that. Constantly thrown into the constant monkey. And some people are now identifying as monkey wrenches, and they're literally like, yes, I'm the monkey wrench thrown into the system. Well, that's what I identify as. It's like you're hitting the nail on the head multiple times to the point where it's already in people. But moving on, Trudeau's summer haircut draws comparisons to Jim Carrey's character in Dumb and Dumber. I'll give you a second, guys. Just pull up that. You guys can pull it up, probably on your phone, or take a second. Pause this, and we'll be right back. You see it? You see how dumb he looks? He looks super dumb. He looks really dumb. Justin Trudeau looks hella fucking stupid. Like, it's literally the parted hair, kind of like, and they caught him on with a picture where he was kind of like looking as though he's confused. But then I realized, dude, he just had good hair, because he always looked confused. Standing next to like Donald Trump, he was like kind of confused. Standing next to fucking Biden, he's kind of confused. Standing next to Klaus Schwab's, he looks like he's more sure than ever. He's like, let this man with a Nazi German accent, let this man speak. But the majority of the time, Justin Trudeau is a confused little boy child, man. And the majority of Canadians are tired of him. The majority of Canadians do not like him. And I think it's time that we kick him. And here's the thing. If we kick him out, hopefully they don't replace him with Klaus Schwab's as best and brightest individual for the position of Canada. I'd say Canada needs to find itself. After what? It's like a bad breakup. Canada has to get its groove back. We can't just keep on falling into these meaningless relationships having just because they look good. We picture, let's be honest, Trudeau looked sexy. He's a good, handsome guy. Turns out he's stupid. He's dumb. He's a piece of shit. I wish if I seen him, it's on sight, dog. Tell them boys in Parliament, bruh, I'm a menace to society, because I would slap a nigga like Chris Rock, bruh. I slap that nigga. I don't give a fuck. I slap Trudeau. Fuck that dude. He did three multiple times, like blackface and brownface, and he fucking dressed as a Nazi one time. He's not a good character, right? And I'm not even talking about, because those characters are funny, but for the majority of people, they're like, what is our guy doing? What is, you know what I mean? And he hasn't done shit. He gave us a lot of money at the beginning of the 2-year pandemic, but come on, man, you jacked up the price of gas way too much. You fucking put in put in these weird stipulations with Canadian farmers, making them, you constantly talk about how everybody needs a fourth dose, but you pussy, bitch. You pussy for not mandatory. You can't make it mandatory because no one's gonna take another shot. The science is settled. This vaccine's not that effective, and it's the risk that people are not willing to take because of side effects. And if YouTube wants to pull this, they could pull this. But I am probably gonna assassinate Justin Trudeau on March 17th, 2024. I'm just getting the ducks in. Oh boy. I'm just getting the ducks in line. The FBI just entered the chat on this one, right? No, but in all fairness and seriousness, and to be completely honest, Justin Trudeau is a piece of shit, and you know what I mean. He's got a face that a lot of mothers would love, to be honest, but they would love him like chocolate, right? You love him like chocolate. You love chocolate, but you wouldn't let chocolate run the fucking country. You wouldn't let fucking Toblerone bar be a head charge of fucking medical care. You wouldn't let a Mr. Big. Well, I mean, you wouldn't let a Mr. Big inside your home. Well, that girl from Sex and the City did. Yeah. But you wouldn't let a Mars bar, operate the fucking, how we handle the fucking roles in public fucking services, the roads, all the roads and construction shit that needs to be done, bridges and that's the, you wouldn't let, he's fucking a box of nails. Trudeau's like one of those fucking dudes. And I said this before on the podcast, but I'll say it again. Justin Trudeau is one of those dudes that you walk up to and go, man, he must be. He's president of fucking Canada, boys. He must be important. Hey, Trudeau. How's it going, man? How are you keeping busy? And just stupid ass Justin Trudeau with his fucking mouth open. Huh? I do. Doing a lot of work. Work that needs to be done. He's 2 grades ahead of fucking Kamala Harris, to be honest. And Kamala Harris set the bar real low as far as speeches are concerned. But when Justin Trudeau does have probably a guy that's a good speech writer. But to be honest, it doesn't seem like he has anything in that head once the teleprompters are off. It seems like majority of his time is doing shit like this fucking pub PR stunt with his dumb fucking hair. Just we're not worried about his policies anymore because his fucking hair looks stupid. But no, the hair is a perfect representation because Canada has split down the middle. They're split on wondering if Trudeau was genuinely retarded, and the other half thinking that no, he's just evil, right? He's just that fucking douchebag, nonchalantly caring liar, right? And I think it's the fucking, he's a fucking, well, what do I think he is? Because on the one hand, if he's doing this, it's perfectly calculated. So he's really he's genuinely fucking over the Canadian people, especially with the truckers. Remember that, people? Remember when Justin Trudeau came down out of Parliament? Or actually, no, wait. Remember when he hid in his Parliament building in the Ottawa Parliament Center, Sports Center? I think it's sponsored by Pepsi. When he was hiding because the truckers came to the fucking Parliament lawn and they got Trudeau and he was missing for days. Remember that? Remember that when our fucking prime minister was afraid of his own citizens? Remember when we lost respect for him? Remember when you thought to yourself, man, it's got to be a lie. I thought, no, Justin Trudeau is like literally he's hiding because a couple of guys showed up with trucks and he doesn't even address, and then he froze their bank accounts. Wait, what? Then he got on stage and he made a statement about the truck drivers, and he said, "You're a bunch of criminals or whatever. Y'all are like domestic terrorists." You know what I mean? These are like they called them all white nationalists. And I was like, yo, imagine being a person, with an ethical background, or like has some sort of foot in diversity. So even if you're just a regular white dude, I'd go like, what the fuck? Like, that's a bit of an overstatement. Like, a bunch of white supremacists on fucking in trucks honking. Like, if that's the new Nazis, like, okay, we deal with the honks then. Like, we deal with a couple people honking, but it was wild. They froze people's bank accounts so that they couldn't eat, and straight up called them domestic terrorists and white nationalists. And Trudeau was hiding in his bunker, like a bomb was going off. But the bomb wasn't going off. There was an alarm going off in people's heads for them to wake up to the truth of the matter. And it's just that, like, we've been disappointed by Trudeau for so long. To be honest, man, and I was working my ass off. I didn't even get to vote last time, but I wouldn't have voted. I don't think I would have voted for Trudeau. But I also was on the fence because, like, the options is like, geez, all of these guys look like they're in his cabinet. So it's like, yeah, what are we doing, Canada? Why can't we get somebody that can just run this motherfucker like real? Why can't we get this motherfucker jumping? And I think what Canada needs is to take a break. We do anything the president of the U.S. does anyways. We follow in Canada follows in U.S.'s footsteps. They get a new fucking drink. We get the new drink 5 months later. They got a new fucking toaster strudel flavor. We get that shit a couple years later. It is what it is. Like, we are like Canada. Canada is like America's younger brother. We get his hand-me-downs. We adopt like kind of like we kind of generally grow up in his little brother, and the little brother grows up in the big brother's shoes. Taking his persona, if you will, thinking he's a cool guy. But in reality, our fucking president does do most of the shit that revolves around America. When Trump did a lot of shit like fucking around with, when Trump said some shit about not signing with Trudeau, that was a perfect opportunity to kind of go like, all right, we don't play with that. And yeah, I think that was one thing that Trudeau did that was kind of an affirmative action, where he said, he's not fucking with Trump or something. Trump said, fuck it, we're not working with you. There's some sort of shit with the gas lines or something, or maybe did they stop the line or something because Trump wanted, but then I realized that he was trying, you know what I mean? He was trying to do something that would not benefit Canada. He sold a lot of our resources to China. He's actively taking in the worst and the dumbest, not the sharpest tools in the shed as far as refugees are concerned. And I'm talking about like real fucking dummies from overseas, particularly Asia, East Indian and Asian, getting a lot of these, and they're not sending the brightest and best and brightest over. They said that. They actually said that. China and India both said, like, we don't send we just we end up paying. If somebody's very intelligent, we pay them to stay in our fucking country, right? Why would you? That's what they say. Why would you lose that? What do you think? All of the dudes that in America work at 7-Eleven. Why do you think all the dudes in Canada, work at 7-Eleven? They're all working 7-Eleven and taxi drivers and shit. Like, I was a doctor back in home, and they just lie. They're dumb. They're like the memory of a fish, right? They can't remember. Like, yeah, I was a doctor on Grey's Anatomy. They don't know shit, man. It's just a bunch of fucking lies that Trudeau has. Trudeau said, we're taking in all these refugees. They take all in the refugees, right? Take in all of these, make all these backdoor deals with China. You know what I'm saying? Get on the World Economic Forum. Get a couple of smiles. Get a stupid haircut when people are fed up with you. And in reality, Trudeau, I would have to say, needs to go. That Trudeau needs to go. I think that's actually a slogan, right? We'll go, Trudeau needs to go, and rightly so. We can get a little. Canada should have a 4-year break from any kind of leadership. Just because, to be honest, yeah, sure, we need speeches. We could do it with Microsoft Sam. We just have Canada is now open. Welcome to Canada. So, and whenever the president of Canada needs to address the speeches, we'll give them a little bit of we'll give them some auto tune on that motherfucker just to get the kids interested in politics. Give them an auto tune gay voice. We gotta supply our Canadian farmers with the right equipment. And it'll just be an AI, open software, so anyone can get into it. And that way, it's kind of a freeing experience. Everyone kind of feels like they can play Prime Minister of Canada. But no. In all seriousness, though, Trudeau needs to go. Trudeau should have left a long time ago. I don't know how. He's on his 16th year, isn't he? It's like Trudeau was actively president since the 80s, with the Cuban Missile Crisis and John F. Kennedy, and his dad Fidel Castro was fucking around with John F. Kennedy, right? And Lee Harvey Oswald was taking the rap, but it was Justin Trudeau, with orders from his dad, Saddam Hussein, or Fidel Castro, which is brothers with Saddam Hussein, to shoot, John F. Kennedy in the head, right? And these are all stories of fiction, people, ladies and gentlemen. These are all things that I kind of made up. Some of it's true. Like Ellen Page actually did change her gender. I just got a little way too high for this fucking podcast. I'm kind of tripping out, man. I'm kind of sketching out because I did say I was gonna beat up Justin Trudeau, and I don't want to get assassinated by the Canadian government. I don't want to get tortured by our U.S. by the Canadian CAD military. I don't want to get waterboarded in snow. I don't want to get tackled by a CFL player. I don't want a slap shot to the nuts. They hold me up in the goalie. Spread starfish inside the goalie net, and then they fucking shoot a hockey puck to my nuts or my gut or whatever. I don't want a motherfucker to constantly hit me, slice me up with the end of those fucking hockey blades. I don't want to be tortured by Justin Trudeau, because ultimately it would just be a bunch of fucking guards punching me in after every punch saying, I'm sorry.